North Korea, officially called the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, is a country in East Asia, occupying the northern half of the Korean peninsula that lies between Korea Bay and the East Sea. Because of the lack of immigration, North Korea is one of the most ethnically homogeneous nations on Earth. Its population is about 25 million people. Tourist travel to North Korea is only possible as part of a guided tour. Independent travel is not permitted. At the end of the World War II in 1945, the Korean peninsula was divided into two zones along the 38th parallel, with the northern half of the peninsula occupied by the Soviet Union. The Korean War of 1950–1953 and its armistice agreement led to two Koreas permanently separated by the Korean Demilitarized Zone, roughly approximate to the 38th parallel, and through which runs the military demarcation line, remaining technically at war through today. The South Koreans tolerated authoritarian rule in the face of Kim Il-sung, determined to reunify the Korean peninsula by military force. The North failed in the several assassination attempts on South Korean leaders, most notably in 1968, 1974 and 1983. The South Korean military frequently found invasion tunnels under the Korean Demilitarized Zone. Even now, the two states still refuse to recognize each other. Currently, many people see this division as a byproduct of the Cold War, criticizing the roles of the United States and the USSR in the establishment of the separate states. The purpose of this video is to propose a traveling plan to North Korea for Kazakhstani citizens who want to have a deeper look at the history of the division of two Koreas by visiting places which played important roles in the competition of two Koreas as well as in the competition of the United States and the USSR. Visiting the places presented in this video, you'll have unique opportunity to take a look at the consequences of wartime legacy and prove your knowledge of the region. The first day will be dedicated to visiting two important museums, the Victorious Fatherland Liberation War Museum and the Sinchon Museum of the United States War Atrocities. The Victorious Fatherland Liberation War Museum is a museum in Pyongyang, was originally built in 1953 and moved in 1963 to the Soson district. At the museum you will have an opportunity to exhibit various statues, murals, artifacts, war trophy, including famous the US Pueblo, a US Navy ship that was captured when it entered North Korean territorial waters in 1968, and 360-degree panorama of the Battle of Taejeon, an important battle between Americans and North Korean troops. The Sinchon Museum of the United States War Atrocities is located in Sinchon, a county-level town in South Hwanghae Province. The museum was built on 26 March 1958. The main museum building has several floors showing paintings and pictures portraying the crimes committed as well as the equipment used. Photographs, paintings and artifacts are displayed in 16 rooms in the main hall and in 3 rooms in hall number 2. At the beginning of the Korean War, over a period of just 52 days, over 35,000 Koreans were reportedly killed in the fall of 1950, an amount that accounted for 25% of the country's population then. The museum also has a bomb shelter, where mothers and children were killed as well as a gravesite. The methods of torture and killing as recounted in the museum include local officials of the Korean Workers' Party being burnt alive, buried alive, shot, had their arm pulled off and had nails pounded into their heads. The destination of the second day is Kaesong, a former capital of the Kingdom of Korea. Particularly, you'll approach Kaesong Industrial Region. This area, surprisingly, is a result of economic collaboration with South Korea. Launched in 2002, this industrial park has hosted 123 South Korean companies and 53,000 of North Korean workers, while generating a 90 million wage income to the North Korean government. In cooperation, two countries were able to produce goods at lower prices than Chinese companies. Despite the fulfillment of mutual interest, economic advantages and establishing focal points for future partnership between two countries, unfortunately, this year South Korea closed the park and recalled its staff, while North Korea has frozen all the assets and equipment present at the park, after long disputes and arguments regarding taxation, nuclear and missile development. During the day 3, you will visit the DMZ and have a chance to observe one of the tensiest borders between two countries and engage yourselves in the Cold War. DMZ is 250 km long and 4 km wide strip of land running across the peninsula, creating a buffer zone between two countries and established in 1953. This tour will include visits of the Joint Security Area, a small area within the zone, where negotiations between two sides take place under the mediation of the United Nations, particularly the conference hall, several famous buildings for the joint meetings where soldiers on both sides have to face each other. Moreover, visitors will have a chance to visit Panmunjom, Panmun Hall, used for formal meetings of North Korean leaders, and Kim-Jong-tong, a peace village, one of two villages allowed to stay in the DMZ, and where the fourth tallest flagpole in the world is located. Finally, visitors will visit North Korea Peace Museum, located near the GSA, a place where the Korean War Armistice Agreement was signed in 1953. In the end of the third day, you will go back to Pyongyang, from where you will depart back to Kazakhstan with food for thinking. The approximate cost of this tour is $3,000. This is the unique opportunity to explore the reflection of the conflict on North Korea.